Welcome to the Global Titan podcast. Today on the show, we're joined by Kituyi Wanyonyi, the creative force behind Transwest Digital Network and EsamboYefwe live music. He's passionate about using digital platforms and live music to bring contemporary vernacular sounds to life while uplifting communities and giving artists a space to shine. First of all, thank you for joining us today, Godrix. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for hosting me on the Global Titan.
So let's kick things off with, just understanding your background. How did you get started in music and digital media? It's kind of a unique field. Most people, coming from the middle class, and I'm gonna make an assumption here, you're from the middle class as well. We have very set pathways in life. Do this, do that, and get a good job. But music is kind of a different pathway. What was your background, and how did you get started in music?
Grateful. It's a combination of an inborn talent, passion, and following it up and coupling it up with education. Being born from a humble background, as you have said, in a village called Liavo. Liavo is a village in Kenya, in a county called Trans Nzoia. Trans Nzoia County is in the larger Rift Valley province, as we call it in Kenya. So I was born in a family of 10, and luckily enough, the entire family, everyone in some way is a singer or is a songwriter. So basically, that means I have that inborn talent. And then during my formal education at high school, I began singing while at the assemblies and all that. And then immediately after I completed my high school, I did my first recording. So I've been following it up, recording until I came to be doing my own music, my own productions. I became a producer of my own songs. It's a long journey that is coupled with a lot of passion and desire to have a type of music that I want. Because I would go to a producer and possibly he won't give me the taste of the music I'm imagining. And it made me start learning on how I could be doing my own production. So I had to take another course online on using the DAW and making my own music, and I managed to get the sound that I wanted. So that's how I became a musician and at the same time a music producer. I also took a course on journalism that I'm running my own platform. After taking the journalism, unfortunately, we couldn't be able to get some good employment. And when I was in music, I could do my journalism part-time. That's why I'm having a platform, Transwest Digital Network, that really focuses on reporting and especially sports items, politics, and business. So it's a range of collection of things that I've been
Activities.
doing for quite some time. Yeah, to be able to be a producer at the same time a musician.
Wow,
I
wow.
mean, just the transition. Go ahead, George.
Oh, no. I was just saying, wow, it sounds like you're definitely um very creative. You're attacking it from different angles, from the angle of music, also from production. It sounds quite interesting. Go ahead, Mohammed.
So I was just, listening to what you mentioned. So you were all in from day one, like in music. From high school onwards, you were all into music. But recording music, singing, writing, that's one thing. But the transition from going from a singer to actually someone producing, quite a leap, right? Because that's a completely different game. You're a singer on one side, and when you go to production, there's a completely different aspect, the business aspect that you need to consider. So how was that transition? Was it easy or was it difficult, but you got a handle on it?
I think things lead into place. I in the quest to do my own music, my own style, I did a couple of songs, about 3 singles, and then I forwarded the singles to our dialect radio station, and the songs were played there. So when the songs were being played severally, they were loved. When they were loved, the musicians from the region kept started asking, where has this song been produced? Because I changed the sound of the vernacular music. I didn't tell you I was doing hip hop, the Swahili hip hop before. And
Oh,
when I did it for like 3 years, I didn't see it giving me the platform because there were so many other gifted musicians in
Right.
the country. We
Yeah.
had the likes of Bamboo, we had the likes of Juakali, we had big names already in the scene. So I tried pushing that music from the rural village to the national platform proved a very hard thing. But when I tried the vernacular music, since I did it in my vernacular, it worked well. Those three songs were played every day, day in, day out. And it brought musicians starting to ask, where are you producing this music? Then I told them, here in the ghetto, you can visit me and we try out. And that's why I grew the passion of producing for them. At some point, it took away my singing because now it became a lifeline. From trying to give them the sound that I had made, it became a business, and I transitioned fully from a journalist because I used to go to the field daily to pick reports and submit to the local station. But now, when music production came in, it took a lot of my time. I had to pause a little bit of journalism. I had to pause a little bit of my singing to start now doing production. And lucky enough, it took a new turn. I became the sound of the region, the western region of Kenya. The music that we are doing is Luya music. The Luya people are in the western region of Kenya, and I became the master, the new sound in the region.
Wow, wow. Hey, well, definitely, definitely sounds like it was quite an evolution, definitely a nice style and it sounds like, it's
Sure.
definitely making some traction there in Kenya. Now, my question I have for you is like, what initially inspired you? Like, where do you get ideas for your creation? Like what inspires you when you're making your music?
I'm a social person. I interact largely with different people in different platforms, whereby apart from being a musician, I'm a journalist. Apart from being a journalist, I'm a sports enthusiast. This means I meet different people on different occasions, different days, and this means I interact with various lifestyles in different circumstances. So I personally, most of the times, the things that I sing are what I've encountered, what I envision, or what I believe would be happening or was supposed to happen. My music has been played a very key role in matters leadership of our region, like
Mhm.
producing over 50 musicians singing political matters, advocating for a particular candidate, advocating for particular political values, and you see that the candidates sail through. That means the composition and the production changed the way people perceived that candidate, or maybe they perceived the entire landscape of politics. So the dynamics change. So this means what we encounter, what I envision, the research, the people I meet, all these coupled together inspire the type of production. I rarely dream, I only envision.
I
That's
mean, it's beautiful to see how the different backgrounds that you have, being a journalist, all of that plays a very important part into the type of music that you create. And music is the language of everyone. Like, I don't need to understand Swahili, I don't need to understand French or any other language, but if I hear that music and it speaks to me, I get that, right? And that message does inspire a lot of people. And music is definitely a very effective tool in politics, as you have shown. So as we're talking about that, uh, obviously production and performing music in is comes with many challenges. So what were some of the most difficult challenges that you had to face when you were producing music, and how did you overcome them?
Basically, it's been tough. It's been tough. I began by telling you I come from a very humble background. I can say that we are not even average. My entire background. We're somewhere below the poverty line. Most of the village that I come in. So first thing was acquiring the best equipment to at least do what you can do to have your music being heard or being played on radio. We were being told there must be a particular standard, a radio standard production for your music to be played. But I circumvented that narrative. I recorded my first song with mere headphones. I bought some headsets with around 400 Kenya shillings, and then I plugged into the PC, and then that's it, into Cool Edit, and I did my first song. And I didn't tell them I didn't have a microphone. So I did my best, tried to do the mastering and mixing, and I submitted the song on a national radio and it played. I didn't tell them I didn't produce the same way you were thinking you should, but it played. That means as much as the challenge of having the best equipment in the market is there, but I used whatever I had with myself, and I was able to produce good music. From that, acquiring this equipment has been a challenge, but I gradually moved from one step to another. From the PC, from the P1, I advanced gradually into a laptop, into a MacBook, and that's how
Right.
I keep on advancing from a step to the other. But the main challenge is acquiring the best equipment. Secondly, acquiring the best engineering softwares, sound recording and mastering, the plugins. All these are very expensive, and most of the time we are now forced to download from the other markets that you don't pay. Definitely, it comes with some shortcomings, and this one hinders possibly the quality of the production that I may be having. I may envision a particular level of production, but due to the stringent condition that I'm in, I may not be having the best software. I may not be having the best hardware. And so I'll be forced to do what I can do. So one of the challenge is acquisition of the equipment, acquisition of the software, and also the exposure, looking at a region where I did my first song or my three songs from the ghetto using the headphones, and then they are accepted in the region. That means I become the best. And by becoming the best, many people will fear to challenge you because they believe this guy has done the best. And when they don't challenge you, you keep thinking you are the best, whereby you still have some challenges. So the entire exposure of the region at that particular time was very low. So challenges were few. Basing on the type of music that I did, the vernacular, initially they were being done in a very shallow way. So I was like, I'm that guy. So now no one challenged me, and growth was very, very slow. But now with technology and advancement, and have started embracing new technology, and people are able to acquire softwares and equipment at least easier than those days. Now the challenge is high, and gradually we are also advancing to that. So one was the equipment, two, the software, and now three, taking the music to the national stage. Still, it was a challenge with only a couple of radio stations available. It was very difficult to have your song get into the playlist. Equally, the same challenge is what we have today. When I do my songs, I would wish that it goes worldwide. But again, to get into the Spotify playlist, to get into the Boomplay playlist, still it's a hard nut to crack, just like the other days in our local radio stations. There's a myriad of challenges. Thirdly, producing musicians from this region is also a little bit challenging because most of them don't have the financial muscle to produce their songs. You find most of the songs I do to support them so that I also make my brand known. By doing that, there's some challenges you encounter in paying your bills and all that. But we try, we keep on pushing to the limits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me personally, I definitely come from humble beginnings as well. And, I mean, I have a background in computers, but, I mean, I remember like starting off and not really being able to, to afford the most cutting edge equipment. And, that was definitely a hindrance. It's really good to see that you found a creative way. I mean, that's very inspirational. Being able to record it the way that you did and actually to get that trending. Um, you know, so from my understanding, I think you're also focusing on traditional rhythms and contemporary music. So that was kind of interesting. I wanted you to kind of speak about that a little bit and like how do you balance that?
Yeah, I looked at what we consume most of the time as a region. And in Kenya, we most of the things are done as per regions, as much as it's one nation, but every region got some majority.
Yeah.
And Western region has the majority of the Luya people. The Luya people alone has 18 sub-tribes. You can see now, if you have 18 sub-tribes, then it means there's so much culture. There's so much culture to learn. Why are we having the 18? What is the difference between sub-tribe 1 to 18?
Yeah.
This one gives you a wide range of issues to tackle. One of the issues is the unity of the 18 sub-clans. Another one is the cohesiveness, the education, the leadership, everything. So first, before you even go anywhere, you got a bunch of topics to handle. That one gives you a platform to start off. Secondly, these Luya people love life. There are people who love life. And that means they have so many events, they have so many occasions, they have so many ceremonies, they party a lot. So it gives you another platform to keep doing tunes that will go with the event, with whatever will be happening. And that gives you a ready market for the product. So I chose to enter the market that was silent. We had people who we have legends who did their music long ago. They did very well, and I had to learn from them. I had to borrow a little from them. What were they doing good? So when I learned from them, I now bring in some melodies that would now merge with the current generation. That's where the turning point comes in. I didn't stick to our instrument alone. We have instruments
I
like
think we
litum.
might have be having some
Hold on. We have
connection
technical
issues.
difficulty. Go ahead, Mohammed. Are we buffering?
Are you getting me?
I think we're buffering here. Hold on. Just
Yeah.
give it a second.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we're good.
I am.
Okay. Yep. We're good now.
I'm
Yep.
good.
Yep. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah. So I didn't stick to our native instrument alone. We have an instrument called the litungu.
Mm.
Litungu is the harp, is the Luya harp. We have siriri. Siriri looks more like or violin, but is a Bukuzu
Mm.
instrument. We have chingoma. Chingoma, those are the drums. In Swahili, it's ngoma. Yeah. So I picked all the three. Silili, that is the violin of the Luya people. I did pick litungu, that's the harp, and then the drums that are there. Now,
Wow.
how do I do this? I bring this one together with the modern equipment like the guitar, the electric guitar. I bring in the piano, and then we fuse and come up with a sound that is both. It appeals to the older generation, and again, it appeals to the younger generation who love the upbeat and all that. That one has kept me alive. It has kept me. I have been in the game for 13 years, and I'm still vibrant. It has helped me to keep on reimagining. I can reimagine a song that was done in 1960 by a legend, and I can redo it in a modern way, but not losing the accent that was done in those days. It has really kept me going. The challenge on that field is trying to ensure that the young people nowadays in Kenya, they are called the Gen Zs, that
Gen
they
Z.
also dance to the tune. Yeah, it's really, really tricky, but good enough. We incorporate now the messaging. The messaging now brings the Gen Zs on board. We playing the native equipment, but how are we doing our messaging? The messaging helps us to bring them on board. They dance to the tune. For a song like Unaefurahisha moyo wangu, it's a love song. So when a Gen Z, they are so romantic, they love, that's the
Mm-hmm.
age that they are into relationships and all that. So when you give them a song, a love song, in fused with the traditional beats and all that, and he's a lawyer or she's a lawyer, they feel at home, and then that's how we manage it.
Nice.
I
Nice.
mean, It's just very very interesting that music is just not you write something and it just goes out in the market. There's a lot of cultural nuances that you need to understand and work around if your music would resonate with your audience, right? And like that was very
Yeah.
interesting to learn. That's an interesting tidbit to understand from the music world. So generally speaking, like you're not just a singer now you're a business owner, you have a production company. And usually the biggest challenge for most business owners is in your position, as you mentioned, your music is also a cultural and political dimensions to it, right? So how do you see your business? What is your cultural responsibility, and what is a business opportunity? And how do you balance your responsibility to your society and your culture with opportunity to make money? Because ultimately a business needs to make something for it to survive and function. So how do you balance those two things?
There is need for culture reservation as the elder generation is really fading out. There is need for culture reservation. And one of the best ways I came to realize is reserving our heritage and culture through art. There are people who do crafts. There are people who do sculpts. There draw those people who do drawing. I do preserve our culture and heritage through arts. What are some of the best traditions that we have that were done those days? The easiest way and entertaining way is to preserve through arts, and there's need for that because most of the young people today are being born in the urban areas. They don't know terminologies of our old days. They don't know the rites of passage. They don't know the things we call EsamboYefwe. EsamboYefwe literally means our heritage. And that's why I named my band EsamboYefwe. That is our heritage. So most of the things that we do, and it's our responsibility and it's my duty. And I realized this after I became one of the best producers of our native music in the region. I knew definitely this is my responsibility. I wouldn't wait for anyone to tell me this is the responsibility. I took it by myself and I keep it doing it, not just by doing my songs alone. Even the musicians that I bring on board that I record, I ensure there's an aspect of preserving our heritage. I also, at some point, take part in composition of some songs, even though they are not mine. But as a producer, I can assist in making sure that this song uh, goes down well into the other generations by reserving our rights. So that is naturally a responsibility as a creative from the region. And I'm really doing it on recording online through our digital posts and also right now this live band is on stage. Most of our songs are culture or heritage documented so that people can keep on thinking about this. One of the songs we have is EsamboYefwe. We speak of the values and the heritage of our community. What were the things that we valued? What were our behaviors as a people? What are we supposed to live to do when we live with other people? That one keeps us, it reminds us every day that this is what we are entitled to do and to do it with our heart and passion. The challenge here is keeping it ablaze, keeping it ablaze in a manner that how do we make the younger generation believe in this and also be able to embrace it and make it a routine. Most of the young people are from the urban. Most of the young people nowadays are into universities. They interact. There's so much confusion today. A lawyer may not know the other person, and we believe it's one, but there are things that are very key to us. The challenge is keeping it alive. Number two is how do we turn this into money? Now, since all the production, all the preparation requires financial, and you may find that we may not be having uh, policies in place to assist some of these things. You see, I'm doing it from my own for the passion. But again, it must translate into money. And now turning this passion into profit is where there's a very, very big challenge. One of the opportunities we are trying to see around is being able to sing to our people, being able to stage live performances on the platforms. We look for a weekend, we marshal for resources, we stage a show. We look for a place, we stage a show. At times it pays back, most of the times it doesn't. People are not used to this. People are used to go into a club while they're taking their drink, someone is singing for them. The music that you may be singing to people who are in a club might be very different from what we are doing, because most of our songs, we want them to be able to keep our heritage alive. You may find they may not be very nice to people who are in a club singing. This means we need a separate stage. We need a stage particularly or precisely set up for the heritage. We need a stage set up precisely for particular songs, which is we're trying, but it's very, very difficult even to find partners and sponsors to come on board and make it a big event. But we believe gradually we shall be there. Another thing is we have people who love this music who are in the diaspora, and possibly most of the time they ask, "Can you be able to come over? Can you be able to do this and that? We want to get you guys here to entertain us." But now you come and find out that the logistics are a little bit way expensive. Like carrying a band of 12 people all the way to UK, all the way to the States needs a very good plan, and it's really costly. As much as this can be an opportunity to allow these people maybe get some more financial muscle, it becomes a challenge when the opportunity is there, but you cannot be able to fund it. Basically, the biggest challenge here is how do we turn this from a passion into a profit? It's really still dwindling. Streaming platforms and distribution platforms also have been a challenge to us. When you want to do a vernacular tune and you put it on a platform, you look at the language list, the language is not there. So the distribution platform will keep on returning you a message to change your titling or to change so that it fits. Your language is not available. Now you see, it becomes very, very difficult to take this song to the international audience. Most of the times, maybe you assume, you just put there Zulu. So your song will be played in the Zulu land, but it's not being played in Kenya. It's not being played to the right audience because you don't have the right language. So there's so much that is supposed to be incorporated also in the distribution platforms. Nowadays that there are many, but they can come up and be able to help us maybe be able, once we distribute to the outside world, we can be able maybe to turn the passion into profit. But basically, it's a good venture, and we're looking forward that slowly by slowly we shall be there.
Wow. You know, yeah, that's quite remarkable what you guys are doing. It's funny, you know, to even have folks reaching out from UK, US, the diaspora, you know, and it definitely sounds like you're trending in the right direction in that regard. I think my next question is around live music because I heard you mention that, you know, you have a band of like 12 people, right? Now, you know, live production, like where do you see it going in the region, globally, and with the changes in the marketplace, how are you all adapting to that?
We have a strong band. It's a band that has different musicians. They are all musicians. They did the other songs some time back. Some of my instrumentalists played the old songs of great legends, and I have incorporated them in the band so that we maintain that old taste. But I also have the young people who also bring in that modern taste. So we are playing in both worlds, and believing that we can do well in both worlds, we are only seeing ourselves international, because we have a lot of people who miss home. They are home, they are far away from home, and they miss home.
Yeah.
We are looking forward to these invites that this guy will invite us We shall bring this homely taste to their doorsteps. We shall do it great. Back home again in the region, we are pushing, pushing to the limits to make sure that we give the very best. We want to come out of the norm, the club thing. That is, it's really, really hurting. Like a musician cannot make impact if he doesn't perform in a club, if he doesn't perform on a nightclub for people who are drinking only. It beats logic because we are looking at preserving our heritage and culture, and we are doing it the right way. We believe that it gradually people will embrace it, and gradually we shall find partners who will not take us only nationally, but we shall be able to conquer the international stage. Some people have already done it. We have a musician like a BN. BN is doing great. He's a Luya also, and he incorporates his modern music with some Luya lines. You can see that the Luya lines give him a unique niche that he represents the Luya people in that particular song. But the songs are done and are worldwide. He has been having tours in the States. He has been having tours all over. That means if BN he and his band doing more of English and Swahili songs, they are into the entire world, then we can also not only stick to the deep vernacular songs, but incorporate with the new system to be able to fit. We can bring in some lines that attract the attention of this Luya boy who is born in the US. We can bring in some new lines and titling of our songs also. We're also thinking of having a song, but it's titled in English, uh, but with the subtitles in English. I mean, the title in Luya, but the subtitles in English,
In
and
English.
then we also translate our songs so that anyone anywhere can understand what we are talking about. We are trying to fit into the system by embracing what it also offers.
I mean, just going back towards what you mentioned earlier, you know, starting your band from with the mission to make sure culture is preserved, right? That was, I think, the main goal, and the name Isambo
Yeah.
Yefwe reflects that, as you
Yes.
mentioned. Um, as we move like further, you mentioned how you plan to monetize that particular aspect of your band by moving towards the diaspora, and how modern musicians are incorporating a particular aspect of what you guys are doing full scale to get better reception for their music. So there's a lot of financial and market for what you're already doing. So basically, let's put it another way. If another singer or emerging artist or media producer wants to start a platform, or a brand or a band similar to EsamboYefwe, and I'm sure you'll be there to encourage that, because it's promoting culture, Luya culture, and just making sure heritage is preserved. How would you what would you recommend them to do, basically?
It's keeping it real and being consistent. It ain't an easy thing. It ain't a thing that you enter just for because someone is doing it. You must understand that so far you are everything. It's the best thing, but it should not come as a competition. It must come as a way to broaden the scope of what we are doing. The space is so big, the space is so wide, and the cake is so big. Everyone can get their cake from the preservation of the heritage through art. There is no way you can say you are interfering with anyone. Everyone is welcome. It's an open space, and the space is so big you can't even finish. From the songs that were done in 1960s to the tunes that we're having today, the space is so big. The only challenge is how do you make sure whatever you're doing is entertaining, because it must be entertaining because we're in the entertainment field. Make it entertaining, make it informative, keep it cultural, keep it as our heritage is, and know that it requires a lot of financial muscle. Reaching out to friends and partners may be one of the best ways to really reach out and to gradually make them understand why this is very important. Initially, people are doing books, people are writing a lot of books, but now with the changing of trends, looks like maybe the books won't be doing very well. So maybe another platform is required, and this is the entertainment industry. The space is big, the space is open for anyone who wants to join. Just to be real, focused, disciplined, and ready to commit your possibly most of your time, because you must do a lot of research. Most of these elderly people are being faced off. They're going. So unless you get the right people to give you the right information, you might also end up singing what is not right. There's a controversial song we are having in the region again. Someone, I don't know, he just thought of things and he produced the song. It went viral. But to people who understand what he said, there's so much fallacy in there. So keeping it real is very, very important when we come into that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, authenticity. I mean, that's a really big thing. I think with anything you do, it's it's kind of it's interesting that you mentioned you know the how things have evolved from, journalism, writing, books into nowadays everything kind of being around social media, your different platforms and et cetera, digital. So yeah, I definitely see there's an evolution that, and it's kind of a balancing act and actually, evolving in that. Now, EsamboYefwe, don't kill me because I have an American accent, butchering that, but and definitely translate digital.
Yes.
Two, two distinct brands, two distinct brands. Now, you mentioned, the difference of, traditional and contemporary. You mentioned, the different evolution of music, but are the two different brands trying to address those things? Why two different brands?
The Transwest Digital Network and EsamboYefwe.
Yes.
Well, these are two brands, and they are managed differently, but with some people who are in EsamboYefwe also being in the Transwest Digital Network. The two brands are under one business again, but the management is a little bit different. The two brands play different roles. EsamboYefwe is basically on music, Luya heritage, and culture. That's
Mhm.
basically what we do. It is a music platform that we have moved it to. We have some merchandise, of course. We're looking for ways, sourcing for money to be able to run our programs. This one focuses on music and basically Luya music, preserving our celebrating our heritage through art. Transverse Digital Network is a platform that is a branding communication agency. It is under Transwest Media Consultants. This is the business that stands on its own, and it's the father of EsamboYefwe. It's the father of the Transwest Music Center, where now we do produce our music. EsamboYefwe gets its productions at Transwest Music Center, which is also a recording studio for Transwest Digital Network. Transwest Digital Network is an overhaul um, production company that does live stream, branding, and all that. We've really focused on sports since I'm the operations manager and I'm an enthusiast of sports. Then I really took that on because I love doing what is deep in me, and I love sports. So I took sports as the major propeller for Transverse Digital Network, popular known as TDN. So when we do TDN, we brand sports institutions. For example, in 2024 and 2025, we have been the main brand ambassadors for the St. Joseph's Boys National School. The St. Joseph's Boys National School has 5 teams in football, in rugby, in basketball, and they are national champions in all the sports. So we were picked to be pushing their their successes, their stories, their everything. We brand
Wow.
them, we package them, we sell them out. So we work with them the entire journey from the grassroots levels to the national championship to the East African competitions. We also have other streaming partnerships with other institutions like churches. That's where we do. And also we have our news segment whereby we update on news that is happening within the Trans-West region. Trans-West basically is the name that emerged from trans is across. Yeah, Trans-West. So it's across Western Kenya. So we basically focus on news, on the news happening around Western Kenya, which we have 5 counties. 5 counties, they were formerly named as districts. So the 5 counties fall under the Trans-West region, and that's why the Trans-West Digital Network. So there are different entities with a little bit of a different management, but some members in this one are also in TBN. So, but they work together cohesively in harmony. One supports the other. EsamboYefwe may come in and support TBN. Our productions are done by Trans-West Music Center, and our music are being done by EsamboYefwe on stage, but publicized by TDN and then pushed online by TDN. You get that? So it's one entity, but pushing different labels, all in all to create more streams. Now that the world is more streams are coming through online, we are only creating avenues to acquire more streams. Also, not to confuse our fan base, EsamboYefwe remains a musical platform for our Luya products. And then TDN is just a branding and live streaming platform.
Makes
It's
sense.
a little bit tricky to manage both, but we really try our best to make sure that both keep going.
I mean, it actually makes a lot of sense, how the different roles and capacities have been differentiated, so each of the brand works in a more effective manner. So let's shift a little bit towards live music events, right? That's a big challenge as well. We talked about music, we talked about production and all of that. And another aspect to, from what I could understand, your company and you yourself focus on are live music events. So can you walk us through what your creative process is when you organize a live music event under your brands?
Yeah, basically most of the events we have, let's say about three types of events here. One of the events is the corporate world, whereby you are invited to be able to perform on a government function. For instance, in Kenya, we have the PPMC. PPMC is the Presidential Permanent Music Commission. We also have events in the county level where the governor may be having events, the senator and all that, and he may need a service of EsamboYefwe live band, or he may request for a particular musician who also happens to be coming from EsamboYefwe. That's one of the events. Another event is that one that you can be invited for a club performance. Of course, we have a range of songs whereby we do our heritage songs as well as other love songs, the other songs that can fit the audience. That's the second platform. And the third platform is where we organize our own shows to really keep enhancing our agenda as EsamboYefwe. So all these events have different approaches. The first two are very simple. You are being invited on a wedding. You just know the playlist. It's very easy, and you prepare for that. Basically, there is the training session we usually do. All members have to come. We meet at our studios. We do the training, and then we after training we choose on our playlist what fits where, and we also have room for any upcoming anomalies. You may be asked to mention a few people around who is going to do that. We assign roles. Every member knows their role, knows their strength. We assign roles. The good thing is in our band, everyone can sing. Almost half of the band can play instruments. So it's very easy to switch when there's an emerging thing that's supposed to be done urgently. It's very easy. Basically, training is very key. We don't just bump on stage. We must have, even if it's on a short notice, we must have at least a few session for training and arranging what we should do. Also, we also have to look at our codes of dressing and all that. We ensure that we do it right. There is also where the challenge comes in, because now there is we need financial on this one. You may find a particular event may require a particular attire which you are not ready for it. So at times you fall short of that, but we keep on doing it right. So most important is the training and the understanding the assignment. What is the assignment? How should we do it? How should we execute it? And then we just do it. We give our best. That's the major thing. In whatever situation, we give our best.
I mean, it's a very, very creative process through, like it seems challenging, but at the same time, it seems rewarding as
Mm.
well. Um,
Yeah.
George?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just it's very interesting. I always wondered what it would be like showing up for a performance and and things kind of being switched up, like you said, like not having the specific attire that's optimal for the performance that you're actually doing, So
Mm.
it's quite interesting how how you explain how it's kind of natural for you guys, and you guys have that flexibility to be able to switch it up and that adaptability. So that's quite significant. I always thought about that. Now
Yeah.
I want to ask a question about, you're at these different performances, you're adapting and etc. But the content of your music, right? How does it change for the different brands that you have, Isambu or Transwest Digital Network? Like let's say that you're at a live event, right? Or even a concert event. Like what specific content do you guys typically focus on?
We are flexible, and basically there are three things that work out, and in ne- ne- all events, in all events, there are three things that stand out. There must be celebration, whether it's in a funeral, whether it's where there must be some kind of celebration. There are some themes that stand out. There are some themes that stand out. Love stands out everywhere. You must find a way of incorporating love into your productions or your performances. That will stand out. Celebration, merry, to be happy, to create the mood. That's the point.
Right.
Creating the mood per event in any particular event is very, very key. So we can easily transit basing on what mood I was supposed to create. And we are flexible. Our songs rotate in the themes of heritage. And in heritage, we have all this. We have love, we have marriage, we have uh, circumcision. We got all this. We also rotate our productions or our songs on politics. Kenyans love politics. You can't speak to for 30 minutes without bringing in the political matter. You can't. So we also have tunes that can be customized anytime to fit a political situation. You just customize a few lines and then it turns political. So we have songs that are flexible that can turn. There's a particular song that you can sing in a wedding, and then the same tune can be done in a political rally just by changing the lines. But the tune is the same, the vibe is the same. So it's being flexible and being able to know which tunes can easily fit in a multiple occasions. So switching
Multiple
might
experience.
be difficult. Yeah,
So,
yeah, sure.
uh, no, no, I'm listening. I'm
Mm.
listening.
So we have the political side, and we know which tunes easily fit into that. We have the love and the romantic side of it, the weddings, because those are some of the things we are called weddings, birthday parties, uh, retirement ceremonies, all those farewell parties. We have tunes that easily fit into that. We also have tunes to do with culture and tradition and the heritage. We have them. So, and then we have different genres of such music. Now, that's the beauty part of what we are doing. We take the old music, but we play in some reggae style. You see, you play a song in some reggae fusion, but you maintain that traditional instrument. So it gives you a stage. Then we transit from we have music that we play like some R&Bs, but they still maintain the Luya touch. So that one gives us a stage to perform, whether it's a corporate event or it's a youth vibe. We still fit into the stages.
I mean, like that makes a lot of sense. And just to,
Yeah.
touch back on the live events, right? So there's a very famous proverb that I think is very, very true. Things that could go wrong do go wrong,
Yeah.
especially in live events, right? So can you describe one moment that, when things did go wrong, and how did you handle yourself to get out of that situation?
There isn't a single live event that would be successful. Let me put this here. It was a little bit shaky. Then I continue.
Hmm.
There isn't any single live event that would go down without without a hit. No one. Every live event has a big challenge, and I don't know. Sometimes we attribute it to, maybe we can say, maybe it is maybe the gods at times they feel disappointed. You don't know, but you must find something going wrong in your live event. You may have set everything right at 2. The show is supposed to begin at 8. Then you set your things at 2, and then I came to this event at after setting everything. I came back at 6, and we started now the final tuning to listen to the guitars. Are they doing right? And then the mixer burns out, and people have already picked their tickets, and they are entering the hall. So music should be beginning in the next 30 minutes or so, and then the mixer is burned out. So you have to source for another one. And with the financial constraints, that was the budget you had. So you can't manage to get another digital mixer. So you'll have to find an analog mixer. So when you bring in the analog mixer, it's already 8, and people are now complaining, you didn't prepare. You didn't prepare. You guys are bogus. You guys don't know that we have paid for the tickets. So when the analog mixer arrives, now you'll have to do new settings, because the settings you had done on the digital mixer have all been destroyed. So when you do the analog settings, it takes you another 1 hour. And this show begins at around 10. And some of the audience who are impatient, they are already walking out of the hall. And then they are all over on the social media. These guys are the poorest performance team you can ever see around. And then you have to take another 1 month to justify that you are a good band, and only that things turned out bad that day. That was the worst day, and I had organized a very big event. It was called a Mulembe Night. Mulembe Night, in Western Kenya, Mulembe is peace, is unity. So when we say Mulembe night, we are saying it's a unity night. It's for the Luya people, for the Mulembe people. The Luya people are also known as the Mulembe people. So when you organize a Mulembe night, it's supposed to be really a peaceful night, and then the mixer burns just a few hours to the show. That was one of the worst experiences. The second one, we had been invited on an event, and I was among the organizers, though not really into it, but my name was there as one who is planning. But I didn't handle financials and all the nitty-gritties. I only uh, managed the artists and how it should be run. So in the middle of the night, around 12 midnight, the the sound goes off, and we are told
Oh,
that it was a digital mixer. It was a digital mixer, and the guy who is supposed to control the digital mixer is not around, and he has gone to sleep. So the mixer has locked. So when we ask why it has locked, they say it's supposed to be paid for. It wasn't paid, and so it has shut down. So it must be paid. The subscription was over. So it must be paid for it to continue. And at that moment, it's my band that's supposed to be on stage. And now the mixer has gone off. And then
oh,
you remain there. So by the time the guy is being found, he comes to set up the mixer. He doesn't even come. He opens it up from wherever he is, and then you are like, where do we begin now? Because the crowd is already mad, and it looks like you are a little bit demoralized. Those are some of the moments that go bad. Another one is you plan for an event, you advertise it for over a month, and then you are looking forward that this event will fetch some money for the band and all that. But when you go to the venue, you find that only about 50 tickets or 100 were bought, and your budget would require that you sell about 400 tickets to be able to fit your bill. So it becomes a debt. You start now paying from some other sources because the event didn't fetch whatever you really, really expected. At some point, also, there's just sabotage. The industry, as much as the cake is big, there are people who may feel maybe you are taking over their space, and
mm,
they may just sabotage your event. You may not get the venue. You may be expecting to get a venue. Then on a D-Day or 2 days before you book the venue, you are told, oh, we are sorry, we didn't check our diary well. The venue is already booked. So you start again to rearrange for that. There's so much that happens in an event. For it to be successful, it takes heart. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of up and down, and believe that you gonna do this regardless. So it's more of being a coach on a touchline and your team is playing. You don't know the outcome. You only wait for the 90 minutes.
wow, wow. It seems like you have quite a bit of experience when it comes to the
Yeah,
ups and downs and the challenges. Sabotage. I mean, that's something that seems to be pretty prevalent in the music business. So that makes sense. And all those other challenges. Whew, I mean, rough.
there are also some moments you believe that this song will be the best here. So we shall play this song towards the end of the show. But
Right.
when you get on stage, they demand it or before you even start, they demand for the song. And you have planned your playlist knowing that this song will be the climax of the show. They demand it on your 3rd minute on stage. And they tell you we want that one. What stop doing what you're doing, give us that song. It overturns your entire playlist, it overturns the entire show, but you have to adjust very quickly with the band.
Oh man. No, I can see that being definitely being a challenge. But I mean, honestly, I mean, it sounds like, you and your band, you guys have quite a bit of experience in dealing with those situations. Seems like that's something that obviously, they're growing pains. You gotta get used to it, I think, with any business. But it's good to see that, that you have enough, experience to be able to deal with these different challenges and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Now, on the business side of things, right? I heard you mention things like more like traditional Luya music and etc. I know that there's certain integrity that you want to maintain in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But how do you stay focused on the message that you want to permeate versus, just jumping on the bandwagon of other contemporary music?
We do a lot of pushing for the songs, and also we understand what should be said when we pick themes that really, really resonate with the particular season. We don't just bring a harvesting song during a planting season, we must really be able to differentiate and to understand what do they want at this particular time. Will it fit the audience? Yes. Will it fit the masses? Yes. It's political time. What type of music should we play? How should we bring it on? The packaging, the messaging, the lyrical arrangement, and everything plays a very, very great role. You just don't bump into a song and start releasing it. We have a lot of songs not yet released because we listen to it and we look at the outside. What are they doing currently? Can the song be released? No, it can wait. When can it be released? At a particular time. But again, this one is also a challenge because there's a song we released and we didn't know that it would do well. And yes, in the first 2 months, it went silent. It never appeared anywhere. As much as we push it, no one bothered to listen to the song, but it picked up itself. We don't know how. All of a sudden, on a night, it went viral. On all platforms, everyone's playing the song. So sometimes it's also good to risk and put the songs there. We look at a possibility of also most of our compositions at times we can do a live composition in such a manner that we put a live session on our handles. We can do it, we can announce to our audiences that tonight we shall be composing a song and we shall be composing with you as our fans. So we
Oh,
put a
wow.
live session on TikTok, we do a live session on Facebook. People compose a song with us. We play some notes, we play some instrumentals, we do some few lines. The comment section is filled with other lines. And then that definitely is a ready song with a ready audience. So that's also one way that we keep ourselves going. We make sure it's interactive. We don't do most of the things ourselves. Sometimes we do a song, we post a snippet for them to listen to it. You will see how it performs, and then you just know this one is a good one, this one is not. Also, we don't stick only to our heritage as much as we want to keep it, but we also at times drift, but very cautiously, to the other end so that we bring them in to understand what we have. For example, we have done a Swahili song, we have done a typical Swahili song, and it went national. And the moment it dropped online, it went national. But what's the point? The point here is let this song, since it's a nice one, let it go out. Let it bring them in the house. Once they are in the house, they find what we actually do. So it's a lot of we go through a lot of researches, trial and error, but we maintain focus on our celebrating our heritage through culture and arts. We don't drift. We don't drift. We keep it in line, but at some time we just move out a little to bring them in to be able to work together with us. And it has worked for us in some point. At some point, we are we are getting invites to perform even outside the Western region. Now, this means we can be able to sell our heritage or whatever we to celebrate with others what we enjoy. And you find our music has a catch all over the nation. The vibe, the rhythm is nice. You find even other ethnic groups dancing to a tune. So what we do when we are invited to those sides, we customize. We customize the tunes. They already know the tune. What we only do, we customize the messaging so that it fits them, but without losing our tune and our vibe.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
mean, just to cross refer on to what you said earlier, the live music session, composing sessions, for that matter, help you get
Yes.
live feedback on whether certain lines are good or certain lines are bad, and that helps you
Yeah.
understand the market feedback. So, just building on that, uh, a lot of your focus has been popularizing your cultural heritage, right, as a
Yeah.
focus. So over the years, were you able to find ways to measure the effectivity or the impact of your music? How effective has been your music in, making sure your culture heritage was, still known among your people?
It has been effective. It has been really, really effective. We have achieved, and I can say that we are on upward trajectory. looking at the trends, initially people believed that Luya music is done by the old people. You could rarely find romantic Luya tunes anywhere. You couldn't find them. You could find just one or two. But currently, as we speak, most of the trending songs are vernacular. That means someone realized that this style is good and they just borrow a little. They only change the messaging, a little bit of the messaging, but they keep the vibe. Now, when they change the messaging a little bit, it means there's the original version of it. So when someone listens to this, and nowadays you can go online and you'll be able to find that someone has titled their songs best Luya love song, best Luya vibe, best Luya search. You see, then this one means the initiative that we took to change our sound was received by both the old and the young generation. Because now most of the songs being done by these people are the young generation. And some of them are even going back to the ancient songs and reimagining the songs into the modern style, just as we do. That means we have been, they have been benchmarking with us. And as we keep going, they also keep following us. And they take the best part of us. Some of them are even doing better than us by just picking what we can do and they add value to it. You can find now there's some nice, very good Luya music that is being produced currently. This means there are some producers who are able to do some good works, but they didn't realize that you can do some fusion and get some better sound. So it means our production, our live performances are an inspiration to the other generations and to the other producers. We can count on that. Also, looking at the analytics online, you can be able to realize that most of Luya songs have begun doing well. We go into our pages, our distribution pages, and we can be able to find that our music has been listened to by someone from Brazil, 2 or 5 people. Who are these people in Brazil? Definitely, there are people who understand it, or maybe they bumped onto it into the playlist. There's another song that has been listened by about 245 people in Portugal, and the song has been done in Luya. We are yet to know how did it reach Portugal and why such a big number of people listening to 250 people in Portugal listening to a Kenyan music, not in Swahili, but in Luya. It's very. It needs to understand why and who are these people. So gradually, the Luya music is going international, and that's why I'm saying if we can be able to get a platform outside here and now be able to do it live on an international stage will keep the vibe bigger and better. But so far, so good. The guys have really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I mean, bravo, especially being able to reach people as far as I think you said Portugal. I mean, that's quite interesting. That's quite
Yeah,
interesting. And it's really wise that you guys are actually tracking those analytics and stuff like that because that was a good segue into my next question because I was just kind of curious and how do you guys create that reliable, steady stream of 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 income to keep you guys going because let's be honest, I mean, we have to pay the bills.
yeah, sure, very sure. We incorporate a couple of things. We can't say that all these revenue is coming from music. Music hasn't the streaming platforms hasn't really paid off well. Uh, and I think it's because of the systems. I told you earlier, language barrier is one. We can't upload our music using our own language. So that means we will have to find some other language to use so that our music goes. That means our target audience at some point is advantage. Secondly, uh, the monetizing countries. We have platforms that doesn't monetize some of that doesn't monetize in Kenya. And so when our music is played majorly in Kenya, we don't get the royalties because the platforms are not monetized in Kenya. I think one of our biggest challenge is also the monetizing nations. And that's why we are really striving to see that we be able to do or be able to get our music to those platforms and to the audience that is in the monetizing nations, for instance, the US. And also, you get someone having a lot of views, a lot of streams, but they have been done in Kenya. So you get 1 million views, but monetarily, it doesn't
Yeah.
really pay up. So it means we have to find some other ways of getting money to keep going. And this one, we bank on friends, we bank on people who believe in whatever we are doing, and we look forward to having the bigger part of partners coming in. They believe in celebrating our heritage through arts. We have people who have already started coming in and they support us in mobilization resources at some point. We also bank on the live shows, which at some point it pays off, at some point it doesn't, but most of the time it pays off and it helps to settle some bills. But generally, monetarily, we haven't reached there. We're still struggling. But that doesn't kill our ambition and our dream and our focus. We really focused in ensuring that as much as it's a challenge, but someday it will become a tradition. And when it becomes a tradition, as the pioneers, we shall be able to reap from it. It must not be me. It must be not be me, but someone who will follow the footsteps may find a stage well lit and they'll be able to perform comfortably and be able to monetize their products. It's a challenge, but we believe we can be there.
No, and to me, in my experience, I think you're definitely spot on. I mean, it's just about authenticity, consistency, and you keep striving. But you're right. I mean, definitely looking at those analytics, understanding it's great that you actually have a grasp on, what your music is doing locally versus what it's doing internationally, and kind of keeping that focus. So no, you're definitely on the right track.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
that was pretty much all I had to ask, George. Anything before we, wrap this up?
No, I mean, listen, I mean, all I can say is, thanks for hanging out with us. Mohammed, we have to make sure that we get this stuff linked up because I think
Mm-hmm.
our audience definitely needs to check his music out and I really appreciate it.
What platform does your audience maybe interact with most of the time so that we'll be able also to share our music to those platforms?
Definitely, specifically Facebook and we're new off on YouTube and that is an AI algorithm, but we definitely have some experience in there, so I definitely think we'll get some traction there as well. So I would say Facebook and YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, that's really fine.
I mean,
We can be also be
just before we
grateful.
wrap up, so can you tell the audience of some of your current or upcoming projects that they may be excited about? And at the end, tell
Yeah.
us, basically where they can look for your work and find it.
Yeah, that's a very good one because most of the audience may be asking what is up as at now. Uh, the entire season is really full, and they should just be waiting to be entertained. We got an official video for a song called With Yako Baraka Yangu. The song is already
Mm-hmm.
on the distribution platform. It will be dropping latest on Tuesday. With Yako Baraka Yangu is that song that I told you we thought it's a Swahili song and it won't go viral, but it has gone beyond the nation. It's now in the East Africa stations playing all over. It's doing
Nice.
very well. So the video will be dropping. The video will be dropping in a couple of hours. We have other songs that are already on the platform. What most of the projects are videos for our songs that we already uploaded. We have a number of shows lined up. I can only tell you our audience that they should be available for our shows. They are great shows. We never disappoint. We give in our very best. whenever there is a poster on what is coming up, they should, if they are within the area, they should just turn up. And if they are not within the area, they be sure that it will be available on our social handles. Our performances and our recordings are all available on our social handles. We give our best in production. We make sure that whatever we have done, whatever we have performed, it will be also available for those who didn't manage to attend physically. What we would ask our audience is to keep on supporting us, because without them we cannot be. And how do they support? There are so many ways. One, by reaching out onto the platforms. We are on all streaming platforms. We are on Spotify. We are on Boomplay. We are on all the streaming platforms. From wherever the person is, they can get our products, both live events and recorded and videos. They can get there. Let them reach there. If there is some bucks you can part with to get our music, then please do so, because that's one way of supporting us and ensuring that we achieve the dream of celebrating our heritage through arts and culture. Our platforms, we use our name. We have two platforms. We have EsamboYefwe, live music, and we have the Godric's Kituyi Wanyonyi as a solo artist. We also have other artists, whereby when we go to the platform on EsamboYefwe, there are several artists. We have 7 artists who also go solo on productions, on recordings. When it comes to recordings, we go solo. Everyone is doing their music. But when it comes to live performance, we are a band. Now, there's a platform for the band, EsamboYefwe Live Band. That one is where you get all the band productions. But when you want individual artists, then you can start with Godric's Kituyi Wanyonyi, and then from there you'll get the drop down of all other artists. It's a good step, because our our fan base has really done us proud. We couldn't be able to reach a national stage if it wasn't for the people who believed in whatever we do. So we still promise them that we shall always be giving our very best, and our very best every day. Every release will be a banger to them. We are available and also very ready to keep receiving from whatever they think we should do good, and we shall improve on whatever we are doing currently.
Well, I'll say this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll say this,
go ahead, George.
No, I'll just say this, the passion, as well as the business acumen, as well as the discipline is definitely there, Godric's. And thank you so much, man. We'll get you linked out, and thanks for the opportunity.
Just for reference, all the links that Godric mentioned would be linked out in our description of our videos. So if you want to check out his production and support him, go down in the description, and remember to support Godric's. And with that, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And it was terrific having Godric's. And with that, we'll see you in the next episode.